The Boston Celtics just went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the Western Conference in the Memphis Grizzlies with a surging MVP candidate, and they just completely handled their business and are quickly shifting into one of the hottest teams in the entire NBA. The Celtics were even undermanned in this game as they were missing Jaylen Brown due to an ankle sprain, which makes this win even more special. This team is starting to prove that even when they aren't playing their best or are at their 100%, they are turning into a team that can still pull away against great teams, something that is a crucial attribute to success, especially in the playoffs. But it's also just a completely different headline than what could have been said about this team at the start of the season. They've won an astounding 13 of their last 15 games, as it seemed like this team's entire philosophy changed after a loss to the Atlanta Hawks on January 28th. They've been playing incredible defense as of late. They're getting healthier. They just acquired a solid piece off the bench in Derek White, and it genuinely seems like everything is falling into the right place for this team, and they are once again at the level of play that was expected out of them at the start of the year. To be quite honest, I think the best part about this team and their recent success has also just come from them just having way more fun on the court, as you can just tell by the way they're playing, creating way more flashy plays, throwing more lobs, and everyone is just playing together as a unit, and it makes them incredibly exciting to watch. Jayson Tatum even said it himself in an interview after last night's win that the team is just playing with a lot more passion and just seem to be having a lot more fun than earlier in the season, and obviously that has to do with them winning more games, as players tend to be happier in that setting, but all signs are pointing in the right direction for this team. Also, only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video. As the leader of the Celtics, Jayson Tatum absolutely erupted in the fourth quarter to close the game out, going back and forth with Ja Morant, and it was this performance that showed me that not only has Tatum officially been playing his best at this point in the season, it's going to be performances like these that will allow the Celtics to take on anybody in the postseason. Jayson Tatum did not give the Grizzlies any opportunity to sneak away with a win, as Morant put up 30 points on 10 of 15 shooting in the second half alone. Tatum, though, had TD Garden exploding in the fourth quarter as he outdueled this masterclass of a performance with 21 points of his own in just the fourth quarter while shooting 9 for 13 from the field. Tatum went on to finish with a team high of 37 points and has continued his run of dominance over the last month. With him constantly showing up like this night in and night out, there is no question that the Celtics are going to finish the season off strong, potentially even challenging the Miami Heat for the #1 seed, and considering how well this team is playing collectively on both sides of the floor, I think anything is also possible in terms of playoff success as well. The Celtics' rise this season has not solely been generated from just Tatum being the team's #1 option, as obviously Jaylen Brown has had a lot to do with this success as well, and if you're keen on just how well he's been able to play consistently for this team, I went way more in depth on him in one of my recent videos about the Celtics that you should watch after this. But it's been the top 7 group of guys in particular responsible for the new look Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart has completely changed his outlook on his role for this team, stating that he understands that this is Jayson Tatum's and Jaylen Brown's squad, but his role will be to act as the heartbeat of the roster while contributing to a lesser role to allow for this team to flourish, and last night proved his incredible maturity of just that. Earlier in his career, Marcus Smart would view a point guard matchup against Ja Morant as a duel between solely him and Ja, where he would try to go shot for shot with him, try to lock him up individually, and overall just try to match whatever his opponent would do to try and prove that he is the alpha dog on the court. Over the years, and recently in particular, he's gained more of an understanding on playing as a team, allowing Tatum last night to simply take over in the fourth, switching on defense as that is the Celtics' defensive philosophy with their nimble bigs, and again, make plays when it's time for him to make plays. This new style of play is clearly working for this team, as we saw Tatum take off. The defense was able to make things difficult for the Grizzlies, and I do know that Morant still dropped 38 points, but he's been playing at the level of an MVP candidate, so you have to make do with a performance like that, and the important thing is that they made it as hard as possible for him, and this allowed the Celtics to come away with the win. Even then, Smart was still able to be a massive contributor in this one, as he managed to score 18 points while having a game-high 12 assists, setting up his teammates with impeccable passes, and we even saw him throw an absolute behind-the-back dime to Grant Williams that even left Ja Morant stunned with how he was able to pull it off. To give some context on the magnitude of his impact, in Smart's last 19 games, the Celtics are 17-2. They have the NBA's best defensive rating and the NBA's best net rating as well, and they've been outscoring teams by 16.6 points per game. We also witnessed an absolute flash from the past from Al Horford, as he looked like the 2016 version of himself last night, playing in easily the best game he's had this season. He put up 21 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks, while shooting 50% from the field and 50% from 3. And obviously this is way more than what's expected out of him, as I'm not sure that he can consistently put up nights of 22 and 15, but nonetheless, it is still fantastic to see that he's capable of having nights like these, and even against the best rebounding team in the NBA in the Memphis Grizzlies. It is no question that Horford plays a massive role in this team's success, and Brad Stevens definitely deserves some applause for acquiring him, as in his last 15 games, he's been able to average 49.6% from the field and 39.3% from 3, taking 3.7 threes a game, which is remarkable, and he's been one of the anchors on this team defensively beside Robert Williams. Minutes are something that the Celtics are going to need to watch with him, as they want to keep Horford's legs fresh for the playoffs, as he is an older vet, yet the fact that there's a version of Al where he's able to have performances like last night, that can only raise the ceiling of this team. Robert Williams also had another fantastic game as well, nearly putting up a 5x5, as he managed to score 10 points, grab 12 rebounds, and again, this is against the best rebounding team in the NBA, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks, and he shot 83.3% from the field. He might be one of the most ideal centers for this team, where we even saw him extend his range a little bit with an elbow jumper, which is a great sign for his potential to grow offensively, being that he is just 24 years old still. All season long, he's constantly been able to hold down the fort defensively alongside Horford, and the way he fits into this lineup with Tatum and Brown doing the heavy lifting offensively, it allows for him to make all of the hustle plays with putbacks, setting screens, and overall just making every little thing easier for this team to succeed, allowing all of his teammates to focus more on their roles to generate success. He has an incredibly bright future ahead of him, especially being able to be a stat sheet stuffer as well. With Brown out of the lineup for this game, this left the opportunity for both Grant Williams and Derek White to step their games up to fill in, and they did just that. Grant Williams is the heart and soul of this bench, as he's paving the way for him to improve to a level that will most likely see him in a starting lineup in the future. His efficiency numbers are off the charts on this team, shooting 49.5% from the field, 44.7% from 3, and 92.1% from the line, and last night was no different, as he came into the game and went 3 for 3 from 3. This performance was accompanied by a solid night from Derek White as well, as he put up a stat line of 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, while being very aggressive attacking the paint, and played solid defense against Morant during stretches that Smart was sitting. The overall beauty of this win was the fact that it resembled the persona of this new look Celtics team, with everyone contributing to get the job done on both ends of the court. It may seem simple for people to say that team basketball is crucial in terms of team success. However, for some teams, it sometimes just doesn't work out the way things are planned, which is where the Celtics were at the start of the season. Thankfully, they did manage to figure things out, and it has generated into this team only getting stronger the more they buy into this style of play, and that's why I think the sky is truly the limit for this team in the long run. They have the top guys that can do what we saw last night, that have the ability to take over late in games against incredibly strong opponents and other stars. They have excellent pieces around those guys, a duo defensively that shuts down the paint, while also having 3 elite on-ball defenders and a couple of guys that can come off the bench to provide a jolt of energy. This team is not perfect when you look at it from the outside, yet if they play like they have been as of late, you can never count out a team like this, especially in a 7-game series, as they've proven they are no longer the Celtics people saw at the beginning of the season and are constantly heading heading into the direction of maybe even being considered a contender if this were to continue. I want to know what you guys think is going to be the keys to success for a Celtics playoff run, so let me know down below in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button to help this video get shared along YouTube's algorithm, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more NBA videos like this one that I will be posting multiple times per week. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great night.